Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's crooked. Are we live?
Definitely live.
Party people in a place to be. I'm Denta Ray. He's
This is Sakar. What's up, y'all?
Sakar Aha. It's another episode of Debatable. We are here wanting to talk about the latest and the greatest information on this planet, which is battle rap.
Battle rap and more.
And more.
Right.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the name? The Grammys about to give an award to this guy, right?
Who?
Slick Rick.
Absolutely.
Was a lifetime
Achievement.
award.
Right. But that's a good look, man. It's a children's story, man. You can
That's
never.
definitely one of the greatest hip hop stories ever written.
Children's story.
That's definitely one of the greatest. So, other than that, what's another hip hop story written? Hey, story.
Man. I want to say Nas, man. The bullet.
Oh, that's a good one.
The bullet that went. The whole rhyme pattern
Just
going
knocked
back.
out of my mind what I was thinking about. That's a good one.
Yeah, man. Going he rapped everything backwards, like. But he was still spitting forward, but everything was in backwards.
You know, that's that one, the backwards joint?
Yeah.
That's another one.
Which one you know?
So Nas might be the greatest storyteller of all time, bro. Cause the gun.
That's the one.
No, you got the gun and you got the backwards. That's two different songs. That's two different albums.
He talked about how the gun went back into the bullet went back into the gun.
Yeah, that's the backwards song.
Him and the shorty.
That was the one that happened after he had beef with Jay-Z. Then there's the song I Gave You Power, which was him being the gun.
Right.
And that's definitely
right.
certified.
But that wasn't backwards though. That was just straight.
Yeah, but you said the by. So I said the gun. I said two songs, and you said, yeah, that's the same one. And I was like, no, I'm the one differentiating it for you. But my point is, that's two of like the dopest stories ever told. Definitely, I got a story to tell. Biggie Smalls gotta be on there. Which story from Jay-Z? I'm thinking the one where he shot his brother, but there's other ones. Which one? Jay-Z, you think?
Not nothing that sticks out my head like Children's Story or the backwards joint with Nas.
Oh, the other one too, where he said that some truckload of keys or whatever, it was like a truckload of keys got stolen, and it was all on consignment. No, he had a truckload of keys that got stolen. He named some ridiculous amount, and then.
Streets Was Watching was a good video, a good story.
And then he got consignment. Mm-hmm. They stole his package or whatever. Mm-hmm. He got consignment and did it again. I forgot the name of that joint. And it's I forgot the name of that joint, but yeah, that was a good one. But so what do you think? You think Children's Story? Another one is Love's Gonna Get You. Love's Gonna Get You. That's KRS One. I thought that was
Yeah, my brother. That was a dope story.
That was a really good one. There's another, and forgive me for not knowing all the names of the songs, right? There's another one with what's your man, Ghostface, when his man died in his arms. On I think it's on the double album. The one with your man, the one with the video where they were scaling the wall.
Yeah, I think so.
When Old Dirty Bad, that's the double album I'm talking about. Old Dirty Bad. It's like, y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna see me?
Yeah.
So, but it was on that album. That album, man, I don't know how cats talk like that album ain't one of the greatest albums ever. That joint right there was crazy. I don't know how they be talking like that, but they do. But yeah, so
shouts out to Slick Rick for that, man. That's a good look.
Yeah, Ghostface, Raekwon, Nas, Andre 3000.
Which one?
Or was it Big Boy? Where he was like, pick the kiddies up. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta pick the right girl or pick the kiddies up. I forgot it was on was it Scarface? It was on a. It was a Scarface on there with them. There was Outkast.
Nah, Scarface.
Somebody else. I forgot about Scarface.
Was that? What's that? What's it called?
Mind Playing Tricks on.
Mind Playing Tricks.
Yeah, he got other ones too, but that's definitely a good one.
That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. He got the one that he did with Beanie Siegel, when he wrote the verses, man, had just got killed or whatever.
Yeah.
Yo,
that was a dope story.
Yeah, I missed that, man. Do they storytell anymore? Is there any recent?
I don't know if you're able to storytell with stepping music or drill music.
Drill music, I think it's all facts now.
like I just did this half an hour ago.
Right. Oh, I guess then. I don't know if he's guilty or not, but if he did it, then YNW Melly would be the. Remember, he wrote the song. I don't know if he did it or not, but they saying he wrote the song about killing his friends, and he killed his friends.
Oh, in the car?
He said he killed his friends. Yeah.
He popped the dude that was in there.
Hey, we don't know. We don't know yet, bro. We don't know. I wasn't there. All I'm saying, I wasn't there. All I know is, bro, anybody with murder on their mind, I'm not. And see what happened. See what the older generation did accidentally, and this is something that Dr. York said. He said, look, this generation, that's when he was out in the 90s. I never met him, but the audio that I heard, he said that these guys are acting, but the people that's gonna come after them are gonna be real gangsters. You follow what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And then it take you to the whole murder, you know what I'm saying? Ja Rule, and I know he probably ain't really do it purposely. I mean, he didn't do it. Nobody knew. All that murder. It was like a whole lot of murder. And y'all was playing. Y'all really wasn't, I don't believe they really was talking about like really wanting people dead like that. I think it was just like, yo, we murdering beats, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We all from the streets,
Right.
we don't test us, yes, but I don't think they was really going around murdering people. But now, it's a whole nother thing, man. Like the drill joint. Yeah, look at the guy K-Fly. They got him on camera. I don't know what happened, but they got the dude on camera shooting the dude.
Wow.
Yeah, in the Bronx or whatever. And right before all of that happened, he had a joint. Cardi B jumped on his joint. Like, massive people was looking at him. Matter of fact, he had a song with G Herbo.
Wow.
Before all of this madness popped off, man. And then they got him, what they say, allegedly him on camera shooting this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't, obviously it's not going to show the whole story. You know what I mean? Just seeing, one, I don't know if it was him or not factually. I guess we'll find that out later. Second is you can't tell what or were the factors that led up to him being killed.
That's crazy now. Yeah, I get it. I mean, what is it? Art, life imitates art, and the art that's being displayed right now is pretty grim.
Man, it is.
It's like the art is like the painters of these canvases really want to make it be known that I'm really about that life. And going back to Charleston White, I think that might have been a bar, but like once half a bar, once you get in front of the man, you start crying on the stand. And,
now you just extended it to the full bar now. Okay. Once you get to the man, you start crying on the stand. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, but it's just crazy because, now what is it called? YSL. It's like it's not looking good for them guys at all.
I'm glad you brought that up though, because they dropped his charges now. Look, I'm not following it like that. I'm following.
They dropped who charges?
Hold up. I just want to say the way I'm following the YSL case, I'm following the people that's following the case. Okay? So if you come in here for some accurate information about YSL, I'm sorry, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get nothing accurate. I'm watching cats like JT, the bigger figure.
Shouts out to him.
I'm only reading the description of the Whack 100 Clubhouse repost on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just reading the description. So I ain't got time to be just listening to the whole Clubhouse about YSL. I'm sorry, I do got things to do too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I didn't read the topics, but either which way, what I read was 65 out of the 65 counts, they dropped 8 of them. No, he's only being charged for 6 or 8, 6 or 8 of the 65. a lot of charges got dropped. So
he's only being charged for 8 out of 65.
Yeah, I think 6. I think it's like 6 out of 65. Like they dropped most of the charges.
Damn.
Because it probably
Maybe
a lot of it came from the phone.
Yeah, but that's right. But that's a better fight.
It's definitely a better fight. Once I saw that, Mike, between that, outside of the what's that called, the what's that, all the craziness, all the talk or whatever, right? Between the phone being suppressed, right? Because they had this phone, whatever had messages or whatever, they want to use it against him in the court, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was able to suppress that, and the fact that they dropped all those charges, it sounded like it sounded like he gonna get out. It sounded like he gonna win. And it's a state case, and somebody could correct me, but if it's I don't think it's a federal case. I think it's a state case, and state cases are beatable. It's the Fed cases that 97% of the people that go into a Fed case plea out. You follow what I'm talking about? So and that's another thing when we talk about these pleas, and I think we have to first, again, if it's state or federal, that's one, because there's definitely a big difference between the two. But most federal cases end in a plea, like 96 or 97%, and that was according to
that's a big percentage.
Yeah, and that's according to the PEW Agents Institute, Pew Institute. Just Google plea deals, federal government plea deals, PEW Institute, and it gives you that. So like all this talk about people taking pleas and stuff like that, when it's a case, 97% of the time it ends in a plea. Period. So
that's crazy. That's crazy because what's being said, the fact that cats is taking a plea, they snitch it.
Right.
And that's just not how it works. But then you figure if somebody take a plea and you label of a snitch on his back, and you got a young guy that don't know nothing about nothing,
right?
And he's active. Here you are, you came home. You know what I'm saying? You still fighting your situation. You take a plea, but this guy's active. The neighborhood said you're a snitch. WAC 100 said you're a snitch.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All these people that you think is credible saying you're a snitch.
Right.
And now he catches a case for killing you for being reputable or bean active.
Right.
So it's crazy. It's really crazy.
It really, and again, man, I feel sorry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the only word I could say for it, man. I feel sorry for us, man, because we're in an effed up position. We're in a position where, our young adults, might have to kill somebody, based on where they live.
Right.
Even like, you might not even live in a bad neighborhood, but you come across the wrong type of people, and then you got to defend yourself or whatever. Can't wear your hat a certain way. It's just so much, man. So, what I mean? You gotta. I mean, I feel bad for us, man, because it was dangerous for me. It was dangerous for me. My years is, 94. I mean, I was never off the porch, really. I'm be honest. I was 17 when I graduated high school. So I finished high school, and that's when I started really going out, learning. Of course, I was DJing. I started DJing when I was like 13 years old, doing the local house parties in Jersey City or whatever. But, we had experienced stuff in high school, you know what I mean? Shouts out to Ferris High School. But, it wasn't, I was lucky, you know what I'm saying? My mother we moved to a good area, you know what I mean? We didn't have nothing. It's funny, right? I was watching Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle got this joint about when he be hanging with his friends from the projects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's like, I ain't grow up in the projects, you know what I'm saying? But,
right.
And he was like, my family my family was just rich enough to to be the poorest people in the white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what Dave Chappelle said.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's funny as hell because I can relate to that because we moved down into Newport. You know what I mean? They had this lottery where, basically you get modern income or what's it called? I forgot. Whatever. They based the income of the property. It was Left Rat. Shouts out to Left Rat Queens. The same developer did these moderate income houses in Jersey City as well. But his whole thing was like, he said he'd be hanging with Nas, and Nas and them be like, yo, man, she was crazy when we was growing up in the projects, right, yo? He'd be like, yeah, but he'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But, but even during that time, you know, it was difficult. It was definitely difficult, man. It was difficult, you know. People had guns. People was bringing guns to high school. It was difficult, but it's not like it is now, bro. Now it's because now not only is the environment messed up, but then the mindset. You know, what's that video game? We GTA now. You know what I'm talking about? We out here just ready to kill, you know, anything for anything, you know, for fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Theft Auto.
And like I said, cats was joking saying that stuff in their rhymes when we was young, just trying to be the most elaborate, what's the word for it? Crazy.
Right.
The most wild MC with the most wildest raps or whatever.
Right.
Most rap, like we always talk about this. That's why I look at the rappers now. Come on, let's be honest. They're not really that nice. Let's just be honest. Not saying they're not making good music. They're not doing their thing. I'm not trying to take away from the generation because, you know, that's what a lot of people do. Not trying to do that. But come on, they not rapping like they was rapping before.
Right.
Or they not rapping like they rap where? In the culture of don't rap like we rap here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And come on, 90%, I would say 97% of battle rappers ain't out here killing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have a couple scenarios, you know, where cats had to put it in, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Or there are definitely, obviously, a lot more gang affiliated battle rappers or whatever. But come on, the lyricists, we wasn't the ones out there doing. We was writing about what was going on in the streets. You know what I'm talking about? That's what That's what Cass was mostly doing. You know what I mean?
You listen, everything you're saying is so on point because when I was coming up, it was about being smart. Like you wanted to be. I remember, like for real. I remember going to the lunchroom. The Cass was in the newspaper. Not so much about the news articles, but like, you know, who won the last game and on top of sports. You know what I'm saying? Like on top of sports, like, you know, critics. I'm saying, like on top of sports, like conversations be about, which to this day it's like that, but you know, the conversations would evolve into like educational stuff, into the news. Like you might have a conversation about Russia and Ukraine and real topics going into COVID, like today to a degree, but like, you know, you're corny when you really start talking about what's what and about facts and about knowledge. Are you trying to spit knowledge?
Right.
You know what I mean? That type of vibe.
Right, man. And I think again, that's all part of Cass didn't do that purposely, but when Jay-Z was saying stuff like that, you know, I want to rhyme like common sense and all of that. You know,
I mean, 5 mils.
Right.
I've been rhyming like common sense.
Yeah, I think stuff like that, you know, deter people from wanting to really be lyricists.
Right.
You
Facts.
know what I mean?
Facts,
like,
facts.
yo, well, I want to be a lyricist for ain't no money in it. Like, I'm gonna just say whatever it's gonna take to make money. And these are the, you know, obviously nobody knew what they was doing. And whatever, that's his mindset. That's his freedom of speech. He could say whatever he want.
Right.
I just think that, you know, we weren't looking at what we were painting, what kind of picture we were painting.
Facts.
You know,
I mean, that's a real good point, man. That's a real point.
What our children in the next generation was going to be looking at as the standard, and because they basing everything on, you can tell the way they dress, they still basing it off of those older generations. So they also basing it off of the mindset of what a lot of people was fronting to be and really wasn't, and a lot of people misguiding. And they really, you know, unfortunately, well, mistakenly or whatever. But also wanted to add on to the point about talking about something, and that's why, you know, I got to give props to New York hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because in New York, period, like every area in the U.S. bring value to the culture. You know,
Right.
And I think, and that's even, I even want to go far as say black culture. You know what I'm saying? Not just hip hop culture, not just battle rap culture, but black culture, because, you know, and of course we've all contributed to it. And New York has definitely brought a lot of information, or at least been a hub, because people been coming into New York from all over the place.
Facts.
Kwame Nkrumah, president of Ghana, when they decolonized Ghana.
It was in
Harlem. Marcus Garvey, Jamaican, Harlem.
He had a whole movement, 11 million people.
Right.
Crazy.
Right. Who else? I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, Malcolm Little, known as Malcolm X, right? Came from St. Louis, right? Or St. Louis. Yeah, I think he came from St. Louis. and made a impact in Harlem. Raphael Warnock, now senator for the first black senator for the state of Georgia. He was in Harlem. So, you know what I mean? I really appreciate what that aspect of it, and it's missing now, man. It's like it's missing. You know, it's in battle rap, but even in battle rap, we echoing the same shit that they talking about.
Yeah.
How many packs and guns and drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's just something to think about, because at the end of the day, it doesn't take, that don't make the like, and that's why we said, look, stories. We started going into stories. We was talking about Nas, that whole story. Like, you know, he wasn't too much pushing, you know, wasn't too much pushing negativity or killing somebody, or, you know, he definitely mentioned guns and stuff. Man, back then, bro, you could be lyrically dope and you ain't have to kill nobody in your raps. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, it's cats that can really spit. They don't gotta kill nobody in their rap. They don't gotta sell drugs in their rap, and I want to hear it. You know what I mean? I'm not the only one.
You know, was that J. Cole? I could appreciate J. Cole.
I can too.
I could appreciate J. Cole.
Kendrick Lamar.
I could appreciate that guy. It's like, you know, I mean, and I'm sure there's a slew out there. It's a lot
Drake.
out there. Drake, you know.
That's pretty interesting, because Drake is the biggest rapper.
And he's not really talking about blowing nobody's head off.
Come on, man, look at that, bro. But like, what he does do is he links up with those guys. Kanye West too, because Kanye West did the song YMW Melly after the Murder on My Mind. Even Drake, everybody was like, yo, he's artistically genius. And I mean, yeah, he's genius. God, man, this dude is got murder on his mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Charles Manson, like, yo, he's a genius too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, man, like, I don't know, man. Like, ain't no filtration system, bro. And we just allowing anything to hit our minds. And I think that's what, you know, having no control, man. That's what having no control leaves you with, man. You know, and that's that, you know, everybody want to get mad at. They talking about the Jews, this, and that. But at the end of the day, they doing business. They don't care. The same way a lot of us was selling drugs and they didn't care. Doing business.
Nah.
Who cares? I don't care if it's your mom's on crack, whatever,
Nah, cats are selling crack to pregnant ladies, man.
You feel me?
And I remember, I never forget how that made me feel.
So it goes back to the same conversation. It's like, you want to talk about white people killing black people, which, you know, obviously is an issue. But then you don't want to talk about the black people killing the black people. So you want to talk about the Jews, you know, pushing this negative music to us. Then you don't talk about us when we, you know, taking the drugs and saying, hey, but see, that shows what cats will do for what? Money. Because that's all around money. Cats taking deals, don't care, you know, don't care what's in the deal, taking the money, selling off they future, they potential generational wealth, they selling it all out. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, they selling drugs, you know, we killing each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? For what? For money. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that's you know, we gotta find solutions, man, and that's why, like, shoot, you gotta, you know, guys, man, y'all gotta diversify, man. You know what I'm saying?
Diversify.
You gotta figure out how to get to the money, whether you flipping properties or you buying and holding properties, or
what's your man name?
You got crypto millionaires now.
So what's your man name? He battled with us. Not Charlie Clips, but the other guy.
Oh, Goods.
He's into flipping property. I really fucks with Goods on how his business, like, you know, he got a shoe. He's flipping property.
Yeah, cologne too.
He have a cologne.
Yeah, he still got that.
Yo, pay attention to that guy right there, because that's what it should be about. You know what I mean? It should be about diversifying. It should be about, you know what I'm saying, generational wealth. That's what it's about. It's not about running up on a battle rapper at a set and just trying to pound him out. That shit is whack.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so whack. So, you know, but by you saying what you were saying with that, you know, Goods, you know what I'm saying, is a businessman as well as a exceptional lyricist. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I definitely mess with that. You know, and the fact that Goods, his whole persona of being flamboyant and the fact that he is a businessman like that, I think that's super, super dope.
It is.
For real, as I think about it more, you know what I mean? Because what happens is if cats start paying attention to that, they're gonna like, oh, okay, I could battle rap and then, you know, make a bag and invest my money into real estate, or I could make a bag and come up with a product and sell that product. So, yo, shouts out to Goods for that, man, for real. Head Ice did the same thing with the Wolf Love. He had the whole gear with the Wolf Love, and that's what it's about, man. It's about flipping it, but flipping it in a way where it makes sense for us. Where, like, you know, Dame Dash just sold out his sneaker line. Like, he got a
Pro Keds? I forgot. He had a couple. I remember he had Pro Keds.
I don't know if it's Pro Keds, but it's this joint with the Puma sign upside down. You know what I'm saying? It's like he inverted Puma sign, and it's a part of his CEO line, and he just sold out. Like he put it out and he sold out, and you know he got the connect to get it made so it could be like an official shoe. So you ain't gonna have he goes to right where you go to get your shoes done. So he sold those out, and that to me that's important because. You know, because what happens is you got Jay-Z on one end and you got Dame Dash on another end, and the entire culture is watching who's who. And, you know, Dame Dash stands for something, and it's not saying that Jay-Z don't, but you know, if you let Dame Dash says it, you know, Jay-Z's a sellout, and not only he's a sellout, he's a business person. That's all he cares about, the business, nothing else. There's no, you know, street etiquette or street moral. What brought us up as a people back then, you know, what we stood for, you know. So, you know, let's we want to have standard. We want to have that, man. We want to have some type of standard, and just take this money and flip it for positive, not negative, man. Let's do something that's positive, not negative. 2023. Positive, not negative, man. If you see a little dude toting a gun, don't try to take the gun from him, but just let him know, like, yo, my man, you're making a life decision right here, man. Becoming a statistic is a life decision. You know what I mean? So that's really where it's at right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the best way is setting examples. You know what I'm saying? For us to be successful without what's that called? You know, pushing all that what they have is the norm right now.
Right.
You follow what I'm talking about? Like us right now, which I think is kind of, you know what? It is a new norm being formed though. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we've been dressing like, you know, in our, you know, what's that called, traditional attire for I would say almost 10 years, even more than that.
Right.
When I first started, like, you know, I'm like, yo, I'm wearing my crown, I'm wearing my African shirts. I mean, I first started when, shouts out to my son's mother, she brought back a shirt from Sierra Leone. Right. I don't remember if you know, I had a brown one. It was a brown one. Okay. Back in the day, it's like 2004, 2005. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I knew, I was like, oh, this is flavor. The African top, you know what I'm saying? With, you know, at that time, you know, Tim's on or whatever. Right. And then to the point where I just decided to start wearing whatever I wanted to wear. And then, you know, shouts out to 19 Keys. You see him doing that in the pub. Polite to a degree was doing that with a crown on. Back then. I mean, with a crown on. He didn't necessarily have a whole bunch of other stuff on, but there was a point that he would wear a crown, you know what I'm saying, which was different. Like, and he was reaching a lot of people. So anytime somebody's reached 10, 20,000, 30,000 people, and I'm talking about the people that you would expect to be doing it. Remember, with him, his whole thing is he's on 125th Street. He's tapping into a younger generation. So I think, you know, you got to give credit where credit is due. And there have been times that he was on a platform, and he'd be dressing in his mostly regular attire now, but there have been times that he was on a platform with his crown on. He had his whole team. They would paint the eye, and they would put the crown on. You know what I mean? So shouts out to him. You had like 19 Keys doing it. And now I think now it is a new norm of people wanting to start wearing African attire and stuff like that.
Well, Africa's in.
Right.
Not saying it was ever out, but right now
it's definitely a point where, come on, man, you talk to somebody about Africa, they tell you they ain't African.
No, I'm
saying blacker than both of us.
For sure. I mean, like, you know, even when you say I'm indigenous, you know what I mean? You can't remove that, you know, you are a descendant of Africa, because by saying you're indigenous, you know, we traveled from Africa during the Malian Empire, where Mansa Musa would travel and travel before Christopher Columbus. We was traveling the waters, you know what I mean? And then West Africa, we brought rubber from West Africa into America.
Right.
The
Olmecs.
The Olmecs. You know,
exactly.
and when you say the word Olmec, when you look at Olmec, you're saying rubber people.
Right.
Because we brought the rubber from West Africa to the Americas, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so these indigenous people that mix with the Chinese people that give you that Asian look or that Indian look or that Geronimo Tonto look, that or Hawaiian look, that all came from mixing the Africans that mixed with the Asians that came through the Bering Strait. So, these things that we have to understand, even when you say you're indigenous, you're still by descent of Africa.
Right, because to a degree, there's nobody indigenous to the Americas because everybody was coming over there and traveling there.
Right.
From Indians from India, right? Not what they call the American Indians. Indians from India, Asians from Asia, and Africans from Africa.
Right.
And then you got the Sands people down in South Africa or Botswana, the Okavango swamps or Okavango swamps or something like that, where those people have every genetic tracing for every race on the planet inside of them. And it's recognized that all humans started out of that river right there from those people. You know what I'm talking about? So you can't get around it, but yeah, it is in now though.
Right. It's in. And what's dope about that is, there's a level of love that's in Africa that, it has to overspill back into America because America's cold, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Y'all done made Southern hospitality.
Atlanta. How y'all make Atlanta cold, man? Yeah. How y'all do that, bro?
Like that's the Southern.
We was in Atlanta, man. You got in Atlanta 98. Okay, I got to Atlanta 02. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, it was nothing but love out there, man. I'm talking about I'm walking down the street, several instances pull up on me. Yo, shout it. Need a ride, shout it. I always tell people this. When I first heard that, I thought dude was calling me a bitch, because that's how we shorty. We call female shorty from up north. So I said, oh, this nigga calling me a bitch. In my head, this is what's going on. But he was really just trying to give me a ride. And then it wasn't until like the second, third time the sister in front of Publix asked me if I need a ride. And I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like not trying to holler, like she didn't even give me the number.
Right.
Like I tried to get the number. I'm like, oh, this
right.
She didn't even really want it. She just wanted to give me like, yo, it was different, man.
I mean, the first time for me was when I got on the bus. This lady said, good morning. Like, what are you talking about? Like, good morning, get on a bus?
Right.
That don't exist.
Nah, definitely.
You know what I mean? You get hit with an elbow. Right. Or you might get booty bumped somewhere across the road somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. I said, I didn't even know how to speak. I didn't even know how to react off of that. So like, and then I looked at her, I said, I waved my hand. I couldn't even speak. I was choked up from a simple good morning. Because the cold that was on me coming from up north was just ridiculous. I'm like, you don't speak, you mind your business. You know what I mean? It's that type of vibe. Mm-hmm. But now, you know what I'm saying? We and that coldness, you know what I'm saying?
Crystallized.
Like, it's crystallized because what happens is we cool when we're around our family. When somebody die, your loved one, when you inside your confines, it's all good. But you become vulnerable when you go get outside, and then you're a victim. But that has to stop, man. That has to stop.
It does.
But what I was thinking about on a battle rap, right? Mm. On my mind was a Misfit.
Mm. What about her?
I think she's a dope ass.
Yeah, nah. She is. She's definitely one of the dopest females in the game. But well, hold on. I'm not done with this Atlanta thing because listen, we got on it because listen, we battle rap and beyond. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we I mean, at the end of the day, that's what y'all tapping into, right? And we definitely got some stuff in store for y'all. We'll go into that, but yeah, man. I remember getting on the bus because you mentioned the bus. When I got on the bus, this lady was like,